I was standing in the middle of the cafeteria when I heard shots coming out of a hallway, and a kid ran out with a gun.
He looked a little lost. I'm telling him to put down the gun. You have to.
They evacuated the entire team except the 2 surgeons and the 2 anesthesiologists that work with Doctors Without Borders. He said, if you guys want to stay, stay, but it's your decision.
I think I went on automatic mode. I got out of my car, ran across 2 lanes of traffic, basically said, you and me, God.
We start with the premise that each and every person possesses the potential to do something extraordinary. We believe that. Why? Look at us. Common people who someone else decided did something extraordinary. If that's the premise, that each person has the potential, what about in a non-military circumstance? Isn't it not appropriate for us to recognize those people?
4 months ago, the Medal of Honor Foundation began its search for citizen heroes. That's everyday people who became extraordinary.
The Citizen Honors is an annual recognition of American citizens who've gone above and beyond in their own personal actions in their communities, and has nothing whatsoever to do with military action. People in everyday life have put their own lives on the line.
Man of action in the most dangerous of circumstances, and for that, we honor him today.
We've received a lot of honors over our lives, and wearing the medal is the highest of all. So we like to turn it around and to use this opportunity to recognize citizens that know the significance of sacrifice and courage, and they've certainly demonstrated that in their deeds.
We saw an ordinary person get involved in a circumstance at a time when he or she reached within them and literally challenged destiny as they understood it to be.
We offer the opportunity for the communities throughout the nation to present people who they feel are deserving of being recognized for their acts of service. We have a committee of foundation members that look at those 100 to 125 that come in and reduce that down to 20 finalists. And then from the 20 finalists, they've got to pick 3. 1 for selfless service and 2 for valor.
Most of the Medal of Honor citations are over a matter of minutes, if not seconds. Yet there are other people who serve for a lifetime. Some of our criteria involve fortitude, personal risk, but not necessarily risk of health, life and limb. People who, day in and day out, give of themselves in service to others.
The whole idea of the Medal of Honor expanded is for the purpose of teaching everybody that he's got a role to play in his community. You've got an obligation to the guy who lives on the left and the right, and he to you. That's the notion, I think, that the Medal of Honor Foundation is working hard to bring to every person in the country.
We know these things happen, and we need somehow to transmit this to our youth. Hey, someday you may be called upon to do a very extraordinary thing. And at that point in time, you very likely will do it.
In my head, anybody'd do it. There was no way I was calling a parent saying I didn't protect their kid.
He could not have lived with himself unless he was the last man out of that building, unless he was absolutely convinced there was nobody else he could save.
The recipients of the Medal of Honor, one of the common themes in talking to them was, I was just doing my job. But in a way, that's what I felt, you know? You do what your heart tells you to do. This is what you're supposed to do.
The Medal of Honor recipients have longed for a long time, a platform in which they could say well done to others. And these honors allow us to do that. And we sit in the audience and cheer. If we could figure out a way to educate young people as they're growing up, that each person they meet has the potential to change the world, then we've accomplished something.
I think had I really stopped to think on February the 23rd, 1945, hey, if you do this, you could get killed. Yet there was something within me that said, you've got to do this, not for yourself. And I believe that happens in civil life many, many times. There's something within them that says, I've got to forget me. At this moment, I've got to get me out of the picture. That's the person I've got to think about. And to me, that is service above self. You can't get any higher than that.